right, welcome back to a late night edition of the Welcome to the World of Sports podcast. I'm your host, John, along with my co-host, Brax, and we got a familiar face in the building tonight, Eddie. Man,
Yeah,
Eddie, we here, late night edition, fresh off the Monday night game, here to talk about some week one games, review and give y'all a preview of week two. So like I said, we all fresh off the Monday night game. Let's hop right into it. Fellas, what was y'all takeaways from the Monday night game with the Jets and the 49ers? And what were some of y'all thoughts on Aaron Rodgers' debut coming off the Achilles injury?
I feel like the 49ers without C-Mac, I thought it was gonna be a rough night for them, but it showed that they are really legit and they deep. So I feel like even down the way, down the stretch, just as the season go, if people go down, I feel like they have enough to overcome certain players and do enough to win games like this. But on the Jet side, it looked good to finally see A-Rod back healthy. So that was a good sight seeing him and Garrett Wilson connecting. So just hopefully he stay healthy and they can get that connection all throughout the season. And but the defense started off looking good, but throughout the game just got picked apart. But I feel like they'll be okay. So I ain't really too worried about the defense. But as long as A Rod stay healthy, then I like their chances.
Yeah, I agree with you. I feel like in his first game back, he looked pretty good to me. He made some good throws, and I think whenever a quarterback come back to a team for like after a long hiatus away from the team, I think it just takes a little bit of time for them to gel. And I mean, he didn't lose, and he didn't look like he lost a step or anything like that. So I think if they can just continue to build on what they did today and continue to move forward through that, I think they could have a chance to compete for something. I'm not exactly sure what, but they could compete. And then for the 49ers side, it's always good to know that one of your ace players can go down and you still win games. Just lets everybody else know that your margin of error is a lot larger than everyone else's, because you can literally lose probably your most valuable player and still win the game. So I think they showed that tonight and just showed why they're at the top of the NFC and everybody's looking up to them.
Facts. Just as far as this game goes, I ain't gonna overreact to it too much because it is week one. So I do understand that there is some rust to knock off. But like you said, like y'all said, Aaron Rodgers, he looked like I expected him to look. He still looks like the same Aaron Rodgers. The arm is still there. He's still gonna make those wild throws. Like Eddie said in the group chat, Rodgers on a free play is money. When he hit Allen Lazard down the seam. So we seen flashes of the old Aaron Rodgers in there. I just think it's gonna take time for them to gel. Just for him, he gonna have to build that chemistry with playing with his new teammates and live reps. Since he basically missed all the last season. And but like you said, 49 side, the way C-Mac was able to be, ruled out like an hour before the game, and they were able to have a running back that was able to step up in his place, 28 carries for 100 and something yards, that it's not too many teams that can replace production like that. So it just goes to show, like you said, why the Niners are the cream of the crop in the NFC. And yeah, man, that's pretty much it. But um,
I was gonna say, I hope other fantasy owners out there was as smart as me, realizing that Christian McCaffrey was down and went ahead and picked him up, picked up the backup running back, and it ended up paying dividends for me. Had I not done that, I probably not have got my win this week. So I'm happy about that. I just had to
yeah,
say that.
definitely a smart investment. Definitely wouldn't try that with any other team or like any other, cause like Kyle Shanahan's system is kind of built on running the ball. So I mean that kind of fell in your favor tonight. But if that was anybody else, I wouldn't have did that. But I like my chances with Kyle Shanahan and his offense for sure. As far as the Jets defense went though, I mean, I feel like they got dominated in the trenches, bro. Like they couldn't get off the field on third down. That's really what hurt them. And the Niners just dominated the time of possession, with having the ball, and they really kept Aaron Rodgers off the field, so he wasn't able to do much in his debut. But yeah, man, Niners are just the cream of the crop in the NFC right now, so I wouldn't take too much from it. But moving on from tonight's game, we're gonna talk about the showdown between Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson that took place on Thursday night to open up the season. Um, just some takeaways and thoughts from that as well. And do y'all feel like Patrick Mahomes is Lamar Jackson's kryptonite? Because he earlier, um, a while back, he kind of joked about Pat Mahomes being his kryptonite, and then when they asked him about it after the game, he kind of got defensive, saying, "Nah, nah, he's not my kryptonite." So just get y'all thoughts on that as well, and what y'all thought, and took away from the game when y'all was watching.
I definitely don't feel like Pat Mahomes is Lamar's kryptonite. Y'all know how I feel about Pat Mahomes. I got a hate love relationship for him because I give people that respect when it's due, but he came in the league and was given everything, so I just hold him on a different standard in a different situation. But I can't take his greatness away from him because he is great. We ain't never seen nothing like that, so I gotta give him his props on that end. But Lamar, a different story, man. He has more things to overcome, and he got all the critics in his ear. He got to go out there and show it every Sunday. And when it's the big games, it's always in the back of his head, like everybody talking about he can't beat this man, and then he don't beat this man again. So it's like, damn, it's probably getting to him. I know it's eating him up. When he go home, he just think about it. He can't sleep. I know he losing a lot of hours, but just thinking about it. So I know it's hard for him, pause. But if I'm him in that situation, I'm just keeping him moving. And next time we face him, we go find a way to win.
Yeah, I mean, he's been saying that for the last what? I think he like 1-5, 1-6 against Pat, so it's hard. But just before you do, Brax, like, do you feel like the criticism is warranted coming off of this game, considering he had an opportunity to, tie the game when he had Zay Flowers wide open, he missed the throw, and then they come back and then likely is out of bounds on the catch. Do you feel like the criticism is warranted towards him?
I think the criticism is warranted, but this is the first time I ever seen a game between Lamar and Mahomes in which he lost that I felt bad for him. I think the criticism it is a lot, but I think that's what comes with being who he is. You have to understand with like my quarterback, CJ Stroud, he always says pressure is a privilege. And I feel like that's the type of situation it is for him. Like it's a privilege to be in a situation where people want you to win and they expect you to win because that means that you are great in some capacity. Now I think at some point you do have to get over that hump because if you are who you say you are, if y'all look at Lamar as that way, then he has to come out and perform. I mean, in the game, we're looking at it it's two throws that I know that he wish he could have back. The one to Likely in the corner, and then the one to Zay Flowers right in the middle of the field. I think it was a miscommunication there, but I think those are the type of throws that they're gonna hold you accountable for it. And all the running that he does is amazing and it's spectacular. It puts him, above everyone else. But when it comes down to it, you get paid to throw the ball as a quarterback, and those are the type of throws you gotta make.
Yeah. I kind of agree with you. As far as the criticism is warranted, like you said, he got to make those throws, and there's also Lamar's at the point in his career where he's been so great, he's done everything there is to do except win a Super Bowl, and the only person that's really standing in his way of winning a Super Bowl is Pat Mahomes, and he can't get over that hump. So at some point, they gotta find like some part of your game to criticize. That's just the way it works. So like, of course, that's gonna be what people say about him. I mean I'm not gonna say that he's never gonna beat him because I definitely think he can beat him just by what we seen on Thursday, how close he was of making it happen. I also think that the Ravens kind of failed him in a way, well, with the offensive play calling because they put a lot of it in his hands. They didn't really Kansas City did a good job of taking Mark Andrews out of the game, and they didn't really establish the run with Derrick Henry. I think he only had what, like 10 carries or so, or something like that. He didn't have a lot of carries, and Derrick Henry's the type of runner where you gotta get him going. Like he gets better as the game goes on. So like they just gotta find a way to get him the ball. he's not. They ran a lot of stuff out of shotgun too, and that's not the type of running back Derrick Henry is. He's the type of person that you got to give it to him under center and let him get downhill and get going. So I just think that the Ravens did Lamar disservice. You know, not putting him in great situations, but I definitely feel like he's on the brink of conquering Pat Mahomes just because we seen how close he came to doing it. So I definitely feel like it can be done.
Eddie, let me ask you this: based on the weapons that you see around Lamar Jackson, would you say that he has the right pieces around him to be able to even conquer a situation like the Chiefs? Because in my opinion, you could say like John says, he has Derrick Henry back there, but like at the same time, I look at the receivers, and it's decent, but is some things to be desired. Do you think that that's what's holding him back, or do you think this is more of, hey, this is who Lamar is. He gets to the big moment and it flails out. What is it?
No, bro, it's not. It's not the moment. I don't. At least I don't think so. I do think it may be a lack of. I think their weakest point is wide receiver on that team, just because they aren't as deep as other teams. Like other teams at least have two wide receivers that are top guys in the league. Or at least decent enough to be considered in the top talks. His best receiver is Zay Flowers, and then the number two, the number two receivers are the tight ends. Like Lamar has a special relationship with tight ends. Used to be Mark Andrews, but he got hurt last year. Now it's Isaiah Likely. Isaiah Likely is the number one target now for Lamar Jackson, looked like. So I do think it's a lack of weapons because, he don't have the same as Pat Mahomes, which Pat Mahomes can do a lot with little because, he make players look better with it just because of that offense and how they run things over there. But I think in this offense, Lamar's gonna have to be the guy. Like he's the guy, so he gotta make it shake, make something shake what he got. And I don't think the offense looked that bad. And also he has to make those throws. It was some throws he was jumping up and doing. I'm like, that's not your game, bro. Like just set your feet. You don't see nothing, tuck it and go. That's your game right there. So I feel like he didn't get back to what that type of play which he started to do throughout the game, but it was just some throws you like Lamar. You gotta hit that. You the MVP, so we gotta hold him to a higher standard, not just an average quarterback because he's not. So that's how I am with it. So yeah.
All right. I got one last thing because I know we got to move on. I would say that Eddie said it's not about the moment, but it's about the talent around him. But I could say it's a little bit of both, just because he had when the moment arrived and he had to live up to the moment to tie the game up. He missed an easy throw, you know what I'm saying? So I like Lamar, he's one of my favorite quarterbacks, but at the same time, when those type of moments come where you got to put your team on your back and make those type of throws, he got to make those type of throws. So guess what? The dude on the other side of the field, he ain't missing them type of throws. I can promise you that. So he just got to live up to it, man. I don't know what it is, but yeah.
I do have to say this last thing. We can't make it seem like he didn't do what he needed to do though. He made the right throw at the end of the game. It just was the inches. It was literally a toe that decided the difference of this game, and they probably would have went for two, and who knows what would have happened. But like he did perform. We're not saying that, but we're just saying there is more that has to come with it. And in certain situations, you have to rise up to the moment, and especially to beat a person who's trying to three-peat, like and considered either top two quarterback we've ever seen. So that's just what comes with it. Don't make faces. Don't make faces. Don't
In my
make faces.
eyes,
That is
bro,
that
I
is a
feel like
fact.
Oh man, we doing this already, bro.
my
Come on.
eyes, bro. I feel like Baltimore really didn't like they put too much of it on him, bro. Like he had to do everything in that game. Like I think he had like over 150 yards rushing, 200 yards. Like he almost had a 400 yards of total offense by himself. He just had to do too much in that game. So I just feel like they gotta find ways. Like if he gotta play like that every game this season for them to win, he gonna win another MVP. I'm
But
telling
see,
you.
that's my thing though. I think he went into this game a little bit juiced up. He heard the chatter. He heard all the stuff that people was saying, and I think he just wanted to go out there and win this game. That's why he came into the season, looking like a toothpick because he's trying to run fast. He's trying to do everything he needs to do to win the game. Like he like, dang, what do I got to do to beat this man? He literally transformed his whole body to just beat. I ain't gonna say Mahomes, but to be better. So it's just it's a lot that comes with it to try to beat this man. And in this situation, like I say, he fell short, but he just got to get better, man. That's all I gotta say.
I feel you. I feel you. All right. Moving on to the Friday night game, Packers versus Eagles, the first NFL game to take place in South America. Eagles came away with a close dub. Packers got some bad news leaving that game. Jordan Love is out for multiple weeks with a sprain. What it is, MCL, I want to say.
Yeah.
Well, I want to make sure I'm saying the right stuff here, but yeah, he's out a couple weeks with the injury. Once again, thoughts and takeaways from that game. How good did Saquon Barkley look to y'all in this Eagles offense for sure?
I feel like Saquon looked like he was him. That game, that was like I feel like they had because there was a lot of opportunities for them to get the ball to Jalen Hurts and allow him to run with it more. But that game was just like all right, Saquon, you came here and we gonna show you some love. And they gave him a lot of touches, gave him a lot of looks, and he made the best of that. And he got 3 touchdowns. What more can you add to that? Like that's one of the best debuts, especially as being a rival team. Like going to the rival team, that's something that you rarely see. And we know how good Saquon is when healthy. So hopefully he stays healthy this whole season. And just him and Jalen back there, that's scary for a lot of teams. And without him, I don't know how that game would have been. So
I think it was a great game from Saquon. Like I said, three touchdowns. That's remarkable in a debut with a new team and a new offense. But I think I'm kind of torn on how I feel about the Eagles defense just because of this factor. Like there was a lot of slipping going on and stuff with the field and stuff. So I can't really judge how their defense really looked, but there were certain situations where I'm like ballistic coverages and all this different stuff. I think the offense will be there this year, but I just don't know. I just don't know if the Eagles defense has improved to the point where they'll be back in the Super Bowl conversation that we've seen them be in before.
I could I feel where you're coming from on that. Um, I think personally for me, Saquon Barkley being in his offense is just about to bring a whole new dynamic to the offense. Just because people are gonna have to worry about Jalen Hurts using his legs, Saquon Barkley. We know what he can do coming out of the backfield. Then you still got AJ Brown, you got Devontae Smith on the outside along with Dallas Goedert. So I mean they just got weapons galore and they can hurt you from in many different ways. I think that the Giants are very sick seeing Saquon go for 3 touchdowns in the Eagles uniform just because we know how Daniel Jones performed yesterday on Sunday, and he didn't look good. And so it's kind of like they almost paid the wrong guy. They gave Daniel Jones the money. And I mean, as soon as you gave Daniel Jones the money, that was basically saying, they was basically telling Saquon how they felt about him. There's no way they were going to be able to keep him. So, but I think he looked very good in this Eagles offense. Like y'all said, it was kind of hard to tell how the Eagles looked on defense because of the field and the conditions of the field. I think that the defensive line will be real good though because of Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter, and they still got Brandon Graham. It's really the corners and the safeties that we have question marks about. Darius Slay is getting older. James Bradbury is hurt. They're leaning on the rookie Quinyon Mitchell to make an impact. So, I mean, we're just gonna have to see as the season progresses if they really made strides under the new defensive coordinator Vic Fangio. But as far as the Packers, man, how do y'all feel this Jordan Love injury, you know, hurts them as we go into the season? Because keep in mind, Malik Willis is their backup now. Malik Willis is their backup. So how y'all feel like this affects them going into the season?
I think it's gonna go get ugly real quick. If Jordan Love is not on that field, because Jordan, even with Jordan Love, I was iffy on the Packers, but he makes those receivers look better than what they are. He has He had Wicks looking like number one receiver. He can have Dobbs looking like one number one receiver. He got Christian Watson looking like number one receiver another on a Sunday. But Malik Willis, we saw what he can do in Tennessee, and it wasn't much. So we're praying for a speedy recovery for Jordan Love, so he get back on that field and help them boys out because they're gonna need it, or it's gonna be a whole lot of them what they call them cheese hats on that field.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I'm gonna give Malik Willis a shot. You know, if he could come out there and yeah, nah, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I think it's just gonna be tough for them. Hopefully, Jordan Love can come back or get in touch with some good doctors. But I mean, I think with that division, you got the Lions, you got the Bears, you got the Vikings. They at least won their game. I mean, everybody won in that division except them. So, I mean, it's not looking too hot, but we'll see what happens.
Facts. I'm gonna be quick. I think that Jordan Love, well, they didn't put him on IR, so they're expecting him to come back maybe within the next 4 weeks. But Malik Willis definitely won't get the job done. He showed me all I had to see on that last play when they was supposed to go for the win, and it, I seen all I had to see. I'm sorry, Malik Willis. I'm sorry you out here catching strays, bro, but I've seen what you've done in the NFL, and it ain't really been pretty. So I don't know, man. All I can do is send my prayers and condolences to Packers fans until Jordan Love get back. Y'all hang in there real tight. But moving on, Sunday slate. We had a full slate of games. It started off with Miami Dolphins star wide receiver Tyreek Hill being detained. By the police.
Man, y'all laughing? Y'all laughing?
Oh boy. My fault.
Hey, I will say this. That was crazy. That's some stuff that you never see right there. Somebody getting detained in the morning and then scoring touchdowns by noon. Like that's crazy. That puts you in a whole different top tier status right there.
Yeah, facts. But, we're not laughing at the situation, but I don't know what we're laughing at, honestly. But man, but anyways, yeah, Tyreek Hill got detained. It really was a sad situation when you see the body cam footage. But but
Wait.
John, you laugh, bro. I don't really laugh because John laugh. I'm goofy, bro. I can't help it, bro. Oh, for
man,
me,
back to the game, dog. What was y'all biggest? Which team impressed y'all the most yesterday, and which team didn't really live up to your expectations for week one?
I say what team that didn't get to my standards was the Panthers.
Boy, it's in the Panthers. Boy, why did you have any expectation for them niggas?
Man, Bryce Young, year two, I thought it was gonna be like something different, man. So I was just that was a sad sight to see, man. It's just I seen the meme, Braxton the meme in the chat of him working at Canes and shit in about 3 years. I won't be surprised if y'all put up the Canes, y'all see him there. It looked really bad, man. And I told a Carolina fan this morning when he called, I was like, "Hey man, I'm pray for you. I'm sit down and pray for you. I feel so bad for you, man." So that was the team that I was very shocked.
Boy, so you talk to a Carolina fan? I didn't know they still exist.
Hey, bro, some people loyal, man.
I'd say the team that I was the most disappointed in was the Cleveland Browns. For a variety of reasons.
It's the main
That's
reason.
just not the type of showing that you want to see from a man that you spent so much money on.
Whoa.
I will say this though. I'm talking about Deshaun Watson.
All right, bro. What are you talking about, bro?
I will say this. He was going through some things this week. I shoot him some bail. His father died on Friday, and a close friend of his died on Saturday. It's very sad times. But at the end of the day, it's been 2 years on this organization, and at last I checked, man, this is not what they paid for. This is not what they bargained for. This is not what they asked the Texans to get. And so in this situation, I mean, if I'm the top organization, top leaders, I'm thinking about starting James. I ain't gonna lie. You gotta consider it. For your offense to look that bad, his QBR for the game was under 10. Do y'all understand how crazy that is? Like people QBRs be like 150. His stuff was 10, like below 10. That is ridiculous. For you to be getting the money that you're getting, I mean, you have to wonder what's going on. Go ahead.
Wait, hold on. Before you go, the Browns are also my team that didn't live up to expectations, mainly because of what Braxton said with Deshaun Watson. I just have to say, man, Deshaun Watson was 0 for 10 on passes 15 yards or more down the field, man. 0 for 10. 0 for 10, bro. And some of these passes, bro, weren't even close. I'm talking about 6 to 7 yards off target, bro. I mean, come on. I know it's been 4 years since we seen him play, a full football game, bro. But at some point, man, I like Deshaun Watson too, bro. It's really a sad situation.
Oh, don't do that.
It's really a sad situation, bro. Because I really want to see him do good, bro. But I'm starting to lose hope, man. I'm starting to lose hope, and I don't want to. I don't want to, but it's coming to that point because I just can't keep defending him when he going out here looking like trash, bro. I'm sorry. I understand your dad died and your teammate died, bro. But if it's that bad, nigga, don't get him, don't get him. Don't get him. Yeah, bro.
Hey, bro. Hey, man. I know y'all too been off D4 wagon for a long time, man. I ain't saying I'm a Cleveland Brown fan, or a Deshaun Watson fan, but I do want to see him do good, man. And I feel like everybody just they're not giving him a chance, man. It's like get out the slump. Like if you really watch the game, the first of all they playing a great defense. He was in distress the whole time, running for his life. So I mean, you gotta put all that into the fact, man. When y'all go into talking about starting James, I'm seeing all the headlines talking about. Now the headline saying you don't got to say it. The headlines talking about it, man. So I think it's way too early to go ahead and give up on the man. Just wait till they play somebody like the Saints or the Panthers, bro. Like just give them a chance. Like
I thought you was trying to say we were sad, bro. But anyways, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna say this. I do understand he was missing his two right tackles. I mean his two tackles. He was under stress. But bro, on the throws that he was supposed to make, where he had time to make the throws, bro, he didn't make the throws.
we both saw the drop passes though. We were talking about it. Amari
I
Cooper dropped
understand the
a
drop
touchdown,
passes.
bro.
I understand the drop passes.
Dropped touchdowns
0
too.
for 15,
Bro, he had a rough
0
start.
for 10 on 15 passes 15 yards or more, bro.
That one for 15 would have been a touchdown though.
Bro, he couldn't throw the ball past 5 yards. That's what they're basically telling me.
Listen, bro, on that drive, he scored a touchdown. He looks sharp. That's all I'm saying. I'm gonna like that. He looks sharp.
Which team impressed y'all? We could go quick. You don't have to.
Houston Texans, man. You know, everybody had a lot of high hopes for the Texans, and it's safe to say those high hopes are, not in what I'm trying to say, not in all a bad way. You know, those high hopes can stay high hopes because after looking at the Texans game, I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it, but hey, I know what's up.
Thank you for not saying it.
Right? What you guys say, Brax?
I mean, obviously, I was impressed by my Texans. They showed multiple ways to win the game. I'll talk on them at a later date, but I guess for the purpose of this segment, the team that I was impressed by, I would say the Chicago Bears. They didn't even score like an offensive touchdown. Now listen. Let me tell y'all why. They didn't score an offensive touchdown and they still won the game. Like I don't even know how you do that. Like I really don't. I feel like I guess I was unimpressed by the Titans. Like, how do you let somebody not score a touchdown, y'all still let them win? Like, that's just embarrassing to me. So, I was actually impressed by Chicago. Yeah, yeah,
I think I write this shit down.
yeah.
Wrap this up, man.
Will Levis is very trash from what I
Yeah.
see, boy. Because how you let them people come back and win that game? But y'all already knew who I was impressed with. The team that impressed me the most was the Saints. 40-17. That was, you know, that's to be, that explains itself. Offense looked good. I think we moved the ball well. Um, Alvin Kamara looked real good in the offense. We got him going on in the running game, got the ball and got him able to catch a couple passes, and I just think we look good overall, offense and defense. And I just think if we able to carry the offense into future games, we'll be a hard team to stop for sure. And I got this one tweet saved. Somebody put on Twitter. One of these football people. They said that they tweeted actually that the Saints might be the worst team in the NFL this year. So I got that tweet saved because I definitely don't think we're gonna be the worst team, but I think we got potential to be a playoff team for sure. But yeah, they impressed me the most.
Honestly, 100%. I was impressed by y'all's performance. I expected y'all. I don't know. I expected more from Bryce Young, so I guess I ain't gonna say I expected y'all to win, but I expected a good game. But y'all literally blew that out the water. So I will say the Saints had a good game. But I will say this: they got a big test coming up. How they prepare for the Cowboys is gonna tell me everything I need to know about the Saints.
Same.
If they go into that game and just compete, and it's a close game, I will have respect for them, and I think that they can do some things. But they're gonna have to compete in this game and at least make it close.
Derek Carr got to show up. This Derek Carr from last week got to show up, but we won't have any chance of winning that game. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
That's the only thing about like we looked good, but I also can't really like make any judgments off of it because we didn't really. I mean, we got their NFL team. Like I said, you got to play who they put on your schedule, but at the end of the day, we know what type of team they is.
This is one of our favorite segments. We got three spotlights this week. So let's start it off. We got the Black Spotlight segment. Eddie, you're our guest. Do what you do.
This week we lost the legend of the 2014-15 year, man. With some may know him as RHQ, some may know him as Rich Homie. People know him as Rich Homie Quan, man. Milk Marie, type of way. Flex. Get a little emotional, man, when I think about it, cause Rich, man, he just so peaceful, bro. Like he got me out of the some dark places and when I was in my life. So it's sad to see him go, especially like that. From some drugs, just put it down, man. It's not worth it. Just that moment not worth it, man. So just praying for his family, his kids, everyone who loved him, who taking it hard. He was one of them, man. He will be missed for sure, especially by me. He brought me peace. So just ask everybody to keep on streaming his music and just wish the best, man.
Yeah, it was a sad news to wake up to and see. You never want your music legends to pass away, especially not in that manner. So yeah, it was definitely devastating. But then, and what I can say is in the recent stuff that I have seen him in, he did look very peaceful and very positive at the time. You never know what type of demons or things people are battling. So that's just, a reminder if you going through something, just get the help that you need and stay away from drugs, like Eddie said. But moving on to a more lighter black spotlight, my black spotlight for this week is gonna be Joe Mixon. So he carried the ball for my Texans 30 times and got 159 yards in his first game as a Texan. Something that I will appreciate him for, just because I feel like he brought the physicality to our offense. You know, it's crazy you could say a offensive player brought the physicality, but he did. You know, when he was coming through the hole, he was looking to run people over, and that's the type of stuff that you want for your running back. And you know, your offensive line was blocking good, and you know, I think coming from how the Bengals looked, I think he looked real good as a running back. So, you know, I think he just is elevating our running back room, and we'll just see what he has for our Texans. But you know, happy to have him on our team for sure.
Man, shout out to Joe Mix, man. He put on a good performance for me in fantasy this week. I appreciate him. Eddie, like you said, Rich Holman, man. I've been listening to Lifestyle for about 3 days in a row now. Just thinking, man, like that song still run all these years later, bro. Like that's a song you could put on no matter what, bro. That song will always hit the same way it did the first time you listen to it. But this week for me, my black spotlight is Tyreek Hill. You know, early in the show we talked about how he was detained before the game. And we seen the body cam footage and the way that they treated him, you know, throwing him on the ground with excessive force, putting their knee in his back and all kind of stuff like that. And just, you know, listening to the way he was talking and, you know, kind of saying like he hoped, you know, telling his teammates to stay right with him, you know, you kind of heard the fear that was inside of him, bro. And like he said after the game, you know, if he wasn't Tyreek Hill, who knows what could have happened, you know what I'm saying? So that just goes to, you know, show that, you know, the stuff like they said, not all policemen are bad, but they will have bad apples in every batch. So you just gotta identify, always comply, you know. Don't give them no troubles or no reasons to, you know, justify them doing something to you, you know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that Tyreek complied and, you know, the truth came out in the end. And me personally, I feel like something should be done to the officer. Like he should be fired immediately upon that body cam footage coming out because the way he handled Tyreek, you know, it was no reason for that. And I just want to give my black spotlight to him because I feel like he handled it in such a great way, and also to his teammates, Jonnu Smith and Calais Campbell for sticking by his side and making sure that he was straight, you know, and refusing to leave his side until he was all right. So I want to also extend my black spotlight to them as well because they looked out for their brother, man, and you can't ask for nothing more than that. So yeah, shout out to them for sure. And I know we usually end the show with the black spotlight, but we're gonna preview week 2. Which matchup in on the week 2 slate are y'all most intrigued by coming up this week?
I would say for me, it would have to be that Bengals versus Chiefs game. I know that's the one everybody pretty much talking about, but I think it's going to be interesting to see. You know, I don't know if T Higgins is going to play in that game, but I would like to see him play in that game. I just need to see Joe Burrow again against Mahomes because I'm starting to have questions about Joe Burrow after that game that we saw last yesterday. So I think he needs to show me something in this game. You know, I'm a big Joe Burrow fan. You know, going back to LSU, but hey, man, I go by what I see on the field, and hey, it didn't look too good. So we'll see.
Me personally, I'm ready for the Thursday night football game with the Bills and the Dolphins. On just Josh Allen, he came out with a great performance on Sunday, so see if he can carry that until when they play the Dolphins, and what the Dolphins go bring with Tyreek, and I don't know if Waddle is. I think he should be playing, but just how the offense is, and just they are very explosive, so I think it'll be a great game to watch.
Yeah, mine is the Saints versus Cowboys for obvious reasons. Like I stated before, I just want to see if we got what it takes to compete with a team that, you know, everybody considers to be one of the best in the league. You know what I'm saying? Especially with that defense. I want to see how we're able to control Michael Parsons, how we're able to execute the offense. I just want to see us. I know my defense is gonna be there. I just want to see us execute the offense at a high level against a premier defense. That would put my doubts to rest. They kind of put a little bit of my doubts to rest this past week with the big performance against Carolina. We can definitely see that it's a different offense from what we've seen in the past. But I just want to see them execute the offense at a high level against a premier defense, and I feel pretty good about how my Saints will do this year for sure. If y'all got anything y'all think we should do as far as suggestions for a bet, man, hit us up in the comments. Uh, and yeah, man, that's about it for this show. All I ask is that y'all like, comment, subscribe on YouTube, give us a follow on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, those type of things, man. We ain't posted nothing on TikTok in a while, man. We're gonna have to go ahead and post something on there because they show us a lot of love on TikTok. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, man. Anything y'all want to say, fellas, before we get on out of here?
I appreciate y'all boys, letting me back on the pod after my, long waited break. Had to handle some business and get some approval. So, glad to be back with y'all boys, it'll be a long season.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Brax.
Yeah, I just happy to have the gang back together. It's good to have y'all back, man. And I hope this season gives us many, many, many things to talk about. I'm sure it will. It's already been a crazy week already.
All right, man. Oh God. I'm looking forward to the season, man. Appreciate y'all for watching. Once again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we appreciate all our supporters, man. Y'all stick with us. And until next week, man, welcome to the world of sports. We out.